Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a good one in store between the London Black Knights and the Minnesota Vikings. With that, we send you up to US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, standing by our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the London Black Knights and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They're off to a terrific start, unbeaten at 5-0 through the first month and change.
And you can hang a lot of this early success on their defense, too. They're the tone setters for these guys, and the entire team feeds off of what they do.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Londoners, they've had a long few days already as they were in London last week, back in the States and on the road this week.
And they had some travel troubles coming back from London, but since they came back with a win, they'll put up with those and continue to move forward.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man, maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that would be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
A quick check on the numbers for Keenan Allen from last week. 6 catches, 79 yards, and a touchdown.
And he was able to pull that last pass in, but he's going to face a tall order here because he's going up against the number 2 unit in the NFL against the pass.
They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A good pickup there, 22. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately.
And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Melvin Gordon, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And this offense takes the ball down the field and scores on their opening drive. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
And penalty markers down on the field. And they might be backing up a bit here to start the drive.
Holding, receiving team.
Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. With that field position after the return wasn't terrific, it's not a great starting field position as well.
Leopard! Over! Leopard!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. And a pretty good gain. These are his numbers from last week's contest. And Charles, how do you think he ran the football?
I thought he definitely had his moments. I did think that they could have utilized him a little bit better, and I'm definitely going to keep an eye on him to see how they're going to use him this week.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at him turn.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another first and 10 here.
Patriot! Watch him now, Barney! Barney! Leopard! Leopard! No, check! Patriot! Patriot!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. He will not, weaving through traffic, and now he's free. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And with his speed, if he just finds the slightest crease, he can take it the distance like he did there.
How about the leverage up front? Offensive line out-leveraging the defensive front to create that space, that crease that he was looking for. And once he hits open field, he's going to be very difficult to catch and corral.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now this offense about ready to take over again. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They run it here with Gordon. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and that's sack number 18 for him on the year.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now back to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Daniil Hunter in there for the sack, and he's closing in on that all-time record. That's number 19 on the year.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. And we checked the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. this is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think he should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
Now they'll run it on the toss. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
So a 3rd and 10, and defensively, a dime look, 6 DBs. From the gun, it's Jackson. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. Touchdown, Vikings! As his guys are in for 6, and the Vikings are able to strike for 6.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. Carlson now to add the extra point. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. Carlson now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And here now the offense heading back out there. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 61 yards.
So what's the old expression that quarterbacks like to use when they decide to throw the football? I'm looking for either a touchdown or a check down. And he took the check down on that play, and it worked almost to perfection. Gordon.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. He'll look to throw, and that is incomplete.
Really good, smart play by the defense, understanding 3rd and short, guarding the first down sticks, and being able to make a play on the football and bat it down.
And Gano's kick is right through. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
The good old toss play, and this time they go to the left side, so give a lot of credit to the offensive line. Center, guard, tackle, able to seal that side. But the guy that we don't give enough credit to, wide receivers. They have to do a great job of blocking downfield. Otherwise, that play can be spilled in the backfield. In this case, everyone handled their responsibilities, and they picked up really nice yardage.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
319!
Now they'll run it on the toss. 12 more yards there and another first down.
I'm not sure you can be more efficient on offense than to have 3 downs and have them all turn into first downs. And defensively, you've got to figure out how to slow them down. Some guys might bring more pressure. Some guys might be a little more exotic. And as a last resort, you might even call timeout and try and regroup.
And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set them back for second down.
Well, that one was over before it could get rolling. How about the D just knifing into the backfield and shutting that one down?
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
They pitch it out to Cook. Touchdown, Vikings! A great effort there with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here now a look at Melvin Gordon. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. They'll set up a throw. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Daniil Hunter in there for the 20th time this year as he continues what could be a record-setting season. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. He'll look to throw here, and he will find his man on the outside. He's got daylight past the 20, and he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And his guys are able to make this a close game again. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said,
he's got a man complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. A big play like that looks familiar, doesn't it? Like we saw it a week ago, reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Nothing wrong with being explosive. Nothing wrong with being electric. Nothing wrong.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Now Jackson under pressure again, and down he goes again. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number one. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Jackson from the shotgun. And going deep for Hill. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top, as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll get things started up at Ford Field in Detroit. And it's the Lions who are out in front as they play the second quarter. DeAndre Hopkins, a touchdown reception. Next, we'll head over to check on the Giants at home at MetLife Stadium. And they have the lead over the visiting Washington Redskins. Wayne Gallman with a touchdown run. Lastly, let's get to the Windy City. See what's happening with the Bears at home at Soldier Field. And that one all tied as they host the visiting Falcons. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3? This fielded at the 2. And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. An NFL update. Second quarter now in Jacksonville. And the Jags, they're out to an early lead there. That'll be a game to monitor as we go along. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Second half begins with a run from Barkley. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Again, it's Barkley. Through an opening, and score. Touchdown, Vikings. Saquon Barkley with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Now Gordon. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Let's go.
They go play action here on 1st down. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Let's go. Green.
Now a handoff. This is Gordon. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. He digs them partway out of the hole that they're in. It's an 8-yard gain, and it makes it 3rd and 12.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
This is Gordon on the dump off. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Good route, good pickup for 1st down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue landed.
He'll drop to throw. Looking for Allen. He's got him on the slant. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
I like the look that they just showed there. When you come out in a passing formation, spread things out a little bit, makes it really hard to cover the middle of the field, doesn't it? Because you got to go out to the perimeter and cover those guys.
Yep, exactly. Got some good blocking, too. Helped him pick up the 1st. Allen's got it over the middle. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. Just they move and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
Back to throw now on first down. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this third quarter of play. 3 quarters have come and gone, as it looks like we are just about set and ready to begin with from the 24. They'll go again on 2nd and 10. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34.
I remember throughout my career hearing defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. And they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Sets up the screen to Gordon. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time.
And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Melvin Gordon, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And his guys have made this a 1-score game now. All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come.
All right, here we go. Blue 90.
But he will not get in here. He's stopped up short of the goal line, and this will remain a 5-point game. Gano out to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably got some help people from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. The pitch goes to Barkley and spins away. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 9 good yards there on the run, and now 3rd down.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Pastor, you said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. Running for it, here's Cook. And this winds up a disaster, nowhere near the marker. Dalvin Cook turned away on 4th down. And the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. Boy, you talk about not playing it safe. Why were they going for it there, Charles?
It's got to be a full evaluation of their team. Do they trust their defense in this situation? Maybe they think they've given all they can in this game and they don't have anything left. Do they not trust that the other team's quarterback is just so hot that no matter where they get the ball, they go downfield? Remember when Bill Belichick went for it in that game, right, against Indianapolis on the road? And everybody said, why'd you go for it there? I think he just thought to himself, on the other side, if they get the ball, they're going downfield anyway. He was trying to end the game right there with his own offense.
And he comes back with one complete. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. So it's our visitors with the football as we get you reset. They face a critical third down now, needing a score here in the late going. Back to throw. Going underneath for Gordon. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The 13 yards that time at a first. First down now, but that clock rolling. Back to throw. That's complete right around the 8. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. He'll look to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. In for the score. And his guys have taken the lead here in the fourth.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
They're going to look to throw, and this is caught, and it's a 3-point game. So they make the decision. They want a 3-point lead versus a 2-point lead, and they got it.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, it seems like the exact right thing to do. Put a little pressure on your defense, but the biggest thing now is you're making the other team chase you.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time,
they practice
don't
it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors...
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Tyreek Hill with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Vikings have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the fourth quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. That'll be taken in the end zone. Well, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. So out now comes the offense back on. field. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. They'll look to throw. Looking sideline, incomplete. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there. And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off. He's back to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They give him a gain of 38. First down now, but that clock rolling. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And before the second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
Here we go. 3-19.
Back to throw here. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. They'll set up to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now on fourth down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue landed.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. So they go for it on 4th and goal, hoping to get 6, and it's 6 the other way.
If hindsight is 20/20, they would have gone ahead and kicked the field goal, but by being aggressive, it actually cost them. Give up 6 points going the other way.
One more extra point attempt for good measure. The extra point up and good, but this one was decided anyway, as that will be the final action in this ball game. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about this.